continuing our discussion about Crime Stoppers today on the morning show from WRCO Radio. We have in-studio guests, in fact, president of the Richland Area Crime Stoppers, Carrie Gander. We have Gretchen Jelinek here, who is the treasurer, and Kathy Hamby. We're going to talk a little bit about another murder mystery put on and benefiting Crime Stoppers. But we'll start with Carrie, since she is the prez. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. A little bit of a cold, so bear with me.
That's pretty common right now. That's kind of going around.
Yeah.
How long has Crime Stoppers been around?
Well, we will be celebrating 40 years next year.
My goodness.
So, it's hard to believe that it's been going so long. We really, really miss our Phyllis. Phyllis Keller would come here. She was the historian. She was there at the inception of the whole thing. So we miss her. And, of course, Jean Delamater was a very active member who's already passed. So we can't, they're still in our hearts and they're still at the meetings.
Sure. And when you talk history, you have to talk about those two, don't you?
Yeah.
Sure. Anything else you want to talk about in terms of, how long have you been with Crime Stoppers?
I was trying to figure that out last night. I think it's been 10 years, and I've been president for 5 of those years. So that was one of my, I'm retired, what am I going to do now things.
Yeah, my next question was, why did you get involved?
Yeah, well, it was. When I retired from my full-time job, I thought, what am I going to do now? And so I got involved with a couple different things, and it's really helped a lot. And then this has just blossomed. We've become much more active and do a whole lot more. So it's been really, really good.
It has to be rewarding when you hear Officer Wilson talk about some of the things that they can do only because of the help of Crime Stoppers.
Right. And we're really excited about it. As I know, I could never have done the job Officer Wilson did, talking about, how things work. But it's just, especially now with the P3 app, I think people sometimes prefer to text anything, even a conversation in the same room. So it's just natural that if they can text a clue or send a video that they have taken while the incident's happening, it's just going to make a better situation for solving it.
You always promote the fact that it's anonymous, but I think even with the app, I think people might even feel like it's more anonymous, right?
Right, and I think Officer Wilson said it is a worldwide thing, and I am not a computer literate person, but the reports are like scrubbed all over the world to make sure there's no way that anybody could figure out who the call came from. Oh. So don't ask me how or when, but I know that that's part of the anonymity part of it.
Yeah, I found it interesting, too, that he talked about the money, the reward system they have at the high school, that because of Crime Stoppers. But was that an idea of the board, or how did that come about?
Well, actually, when I joined, Quick 50 was happening already.
Oh, okay.
Gretchen is our oldest member. I don't mean in years. I mean in membership.
Thanks a lot. Quick 50, as long as I have been in the organization, has been there. So I'm not sure exactly, and I'm not sure exactly if it's only, I'm sure that it's all over the Crime Stoppers network for the different areas, but it is a good idea that you get the students involved. They, and like they say, $50 is $50.
Absolutely. So, and then some of the monies that raised during the year go towards that. And you had to, I'm guessing, give a pretty good chunk of change for the vape detectors, didn't you?
Oh, yes. We spent quite a little bit, but it was worth every dollar that we invested in that. If we can stop some people from getting involved with that, because vaping, if you listen to the medical reports, is a nasty business. It gets right into your lungs. They say it's worse than smoking. Mm-hmm. So
start early about education and things like that. And I think that's the other thing you wanted to discuss today is Crime Stoppers is also about preventative too, correct?
Yes, it is. We also do something in the summertime, and Carrie can talk about this, where we pay for day passes for the pool. some kids that are at risk, if you give them something positive to do, they'll stay away from the other. But you got to give them that little gift. Mm-hmm. And these passes, which we go through social services,
Health and Human Services,
that, they know the kids that are at risk. And so, they give them a gift, this day pass to the pool. And the kids really enjoy it. You go by the pool anytime, and you can hear all the wonderful whooping and having fun.
Talk about a positive.
That's right.
A great thing. Utilizing our pool in the area and the water slides and everything. So,
yes.
Yeah, we're kind of thinking this year that we might add some family passes to our available offers, and so that's something that we'll have to work with Health and Human Services a little bit more. But yeah, it's we are really trying to reach out in the community more than we ever have before. We used to just, we used to get the clues and pay when it is paid when an arrest happens. So it's not, you don't automatically get money for the clue or anything until it leads to an arrest. But it's just nice to think that maybe we can do a little more than what we're already doing. So we've kind of gotten our heads together in the last few years and said, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. So the pool passes.
Another one is the benches that we have around the community.
Yep.
They not only advertise, but they allow people to have time to sit down and just relax, because sometimes that's what you need, is the opportunity.
Yep.
It sounds to me like the board has more to do than you used to as well. I mean, you've really branched out.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. When I first was a board member, it was, a meeting a month. How are things going? And we'll just keep on doing what we're doing because it's working, And it is still working. But we've just kind of tried to add on to it a little bit.
So if you get a tip in between meetings, do you meet? They sometimes have emergency meetings, or how does that work?
No, actually, I will get calls. I have gotten calls from deputies or police officers who are saying, we have this situation. Can you approve a reward because it might help get information in about what's going on? So, I've never said no, and that way they know ahead of time that they can tell people that they're offering rewards for anybody that knows anything about a specific situation, whether it's a warrant, whether it's a crime going on, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when that happens, sometimes there will be a radio ad that says, and Crime Stoppers, we need a clue for this, and the police will say what the issue is, and then they'll say that there is a reward offered up to $1,000 for anything that will help them solve the crime.
Do you have someone that does your social media work then and gets the word out there?
No, that's usually done by the police officers.
I see. Okay.
They're very talented people.
You can tell. I could never have talked like Officer Wilson did about the programs that he works with day in and day out. So I was so thankful that he was still able to help us out.
To keep it up and running, though, you need to raise some funds from time to time. And one of those things was the murder mystery. I know we were on talking about that last summer. In fact, Kathy Hamby is here, and that's kind of your area of expertise. Good morning.
Good morning. I do have some information about last year, and all in all, we call it a grand success, because we received a lot of positive feedback from everybody that was involved, whether it was the businesses, the actors who played the suspects, and the people who came from in town and around town to play. We really stressed affordability. We wanted this to be something that families could come and enjoy together, and it wouldn't break the bank to pay to play. And so we saw a lot of families that came with really young children, and they were still having fun. And we had groups that got together, maybe a bunch of friends that just wanted to go and have a day or a couple of hours or the weekend and play together. And there were even some people who came alone and just did it for fun. I did meet one couple later in the day, and we started visiting, and I said, well, how did you find out about this? And I don't even know why I asked the question, but I'm glad I did. They said that they came through town on their way somewhere else. They stopped for lunch, and they saw the activity and thought, what in the world is going on? So they ran down to the depot, bought a registration packet, and ran around, collected clues, asked a few questions, dropped off their ballot, and I don't know if they won anything or not, but they had a lot of fun on their way to wherever they were going.
People were doing a double take because, there were actors and actresses on the street and all dolled up, and what is going on? So it did draw a lot of attention.
It drew a lot of positive attention from everywhere. The businesses said that they saw people who they'd never seen before. People who went into these places said, I didn't even know that place existed. Or they'd say, I've been thinking about going in there, but I didn't know they had something that I could use. For example, the record shop in town, the Okuch books, they didn't realize really that there were old albums and things there. And we did get a lot of support. I was amazed. I'm not one who enjoys going and asking for money. I don't even like to sell tickets or anything like that. But every business I went into, they were very supportive. We had 23 businesses in downtown that were clue stops, and they told me how much they appreciated being a clue stop with as little responsibility as they wanted it to be. They could choose to just put the clues on a shelf inside the door where people came in, got the clue, and left. They could hide them in the store, or they could dress up. They could offer food. We got some information or some suggestions by some places where they'd like to be more interactive next year, or maybe something that the clue can be something that maybe children have to look for. Maybe a children's ballot where if you see this in each store, write it down. So the businesses also offered a lot of prizes, and we were able to offer some very amazing grand prizes for both the adults and the children. And just there were everything from hats to coupons for meals to some really elaborate gifts, which we were very appreciative for.
Didn't you get like a snow blower or something like that?
We had a leaf blower, and we combined the grand prize for adults, combined the leaf blower, 2 yards of mulch, and a security camera, and a $100 gift card to Walmart. That was one prize. That was the grand prize.
That's a nice prize.
That was a nice prize. And for the children, I don't remember if they got a year's pass to the movie theater or the swimming pool, but
well, I think that was both, wasn't it?
We had both of those prizes, and I don't know if they both went as the grand prize or not. But we had so many prizes that I think just about everyone who came to the reveal walked away with something.
Did you bring in a lot of people from out of town?
We did. There were people. We hope to expand on that through maybe a little more advertising next year. But word of mouth, it sounds like we will have people from other areas bringing things. We had businesses from out of town that donated prizes too, so they kind of spread the word a little bit for us.
Who was the culprit, by the way?
It was, I can't remember his name.
Colonel Mustard? Or,
no. Oh, I should have written that down.
Put you on the spot. But
everybody, the one thing I liked about the event was that every suspect had an alibi. And the alibis were pretty good. And as an actor, the goal was to, in the process of trying to prove yourself innocent, when people ask questions, you secretly wanted them to think that you were the guilty person. And it was, she's going to hand me here the...
Oh, she's got the...
If I see the picture, I can tell you his name. He was Bowen Arrow. Bowen Arrow. Mm-hmm. Yes, he was the one who committed the murder, and he had what he thought was a very good reason to see poor little Rainy Day pass away.
Right.
And weren't you also a suspect?
I was a suspect. I was glad as can be. I was a very happy-go-lucky trishaw driver from Schmidt-Woodland Hills. I had my friend Sigrid with me. I was the grandmother of my actual biological granddaughter, Kachessa, who played Minivan. Her mother, Caravan, was my daughter. I did not know until just a few days before the murder that Rainy Day was truly the biological mother of my grandchild. And as sweet and kind and happy-go-lucky as Gladys Canby was, Mama Bear came out and she would do anything to protect her daughter and her granddaughter. Nobody was going to take her granddaughter away from her.
Awesome. Did anybody call the actual Crime Stoppers tip line for
I
this?
don't believe they did, but I think there was a little notice in this flyer that said all of this is fictional.
Fictional,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
right,
yes.
exactly. So the author of that particular series, that was your daughter, wasn't it?
My daughter,
Yeah.
she goes by Jennifer Renee Hamby, and she wrote the story, and I did a lot of the printing for her, so I read the stories of each of these actors, and I didn't even know but what I might have been the guilty one.
Oh, so
So-
you weren't privy to the...
No, she had
Final.
me print off the alibis and told me not to read them, which I did not. She wrote every alibi that everyone was innocent, but then she handed this packet of all innocent alibis to our detective, and then secretly she replaced one with the guilty person. So even no one knew until the very last minute who it was.
Lots of fun. So you're making plans now for a bigger and better murder mystery in 2026
Yes.
then. What
Yes,
can you
we
tell
are.
us about it?
Well, I did talk to Jennifer recently, and she filled me in. She said that the story is going to be Bulls and Bronx. No, Bulls and Blood. So it's changing from Bulls and Bronx to Bulls and Blood. And I'll read the little quip that she wrote. As rival writers, judges, and breeders clash over money, medals, and manipulation, the murder of our beloved rodeo clown, Bo Zo, brings the rodeo to a standstill. Two of the known suspects include Clydesdale, a Texas horse expert, and Mary Ann Richmond, a Southern belle whose past is littered with lovers and big bank accounts. And that's all I know.
Oh, man. And so it's just in the planning stages now. Are you looking for people to play the parts? And how do you cast this then?
Well, luckily, the players who played last year, several of them have already agreed to come back. And I do think that a couple of the suspects have already been decided who's going to play what. So we have, maybe there'll be a few adjustments to next year, but it's going to be very much the same as it was this year.
So you have to get it all plotted out, like where the crime's going to take place and all of those things to be determined then.
To be determined. And we will get together in August, all of us, and try to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to promoting that and having a little fun with that again next
Yeah,
year.
thank you.
Or this year now, 2026. So this is going to be a great thing. This is one of the primary things, Gretchen, for your Crime Stoppers fundraisers?
Well, it's one of them, but it's not the only thing. Like most of the local 501c3s, you got to get that right, will do various fundraising. One thing that we do is we have a calendar raffle, which we're selling tickets for right now. If there's anybody out there that would like to buy some, you can contact me. My number's in the phone book. But we have 800 tickets. We'd like to sell them all. They're available from any Crime Stopper member. And we also do 50-50 raffles at various functions. The night out, didn't we do a 50-50 there?
I'm not sure.
I know that we've done 50-50 raffles at various events. We also go to Culver's, like many people do, and do the Wednesday night where they donate money to the parcels and stuff of that nature. So, but yeah,
So it's kind of an ongoing thing throughout the year.
we'll take money anytime. We also hopefully have some money from. I can't think of the name of the group right now, and I apologize for that. That are finishing up there and donating back to the community.
Oh, United Givers?
United Givers,
sure.
yeah. We have applied for money from them for years. They've been very good to us. A lot of times they give us more money than we ask for, which is always grateful. We're always grateful for that. So, but we'll take money from anybody. As long as it's not related to crime. We don't want any dirty money, people.
No crime money or anything. No.
No, nothing like that. No.
How long have you been a part of Crime Stoppers, Gretchen?
It's so long I can't remember.
Okay.
But I had my mother's first cousin said, "Why don't you come and join us?" She was a member of Crime Stoppers at that time. And I've been a member since. I've been treasurer for so long I can't remember that either. So we've been doing calendar raffles since I think about 2017, getting money from United Givers and taking money from. There used to be a program where at the courthouse, when they had a court hearing, that sometimes they would assess a fee to people who were being charged with the crime, and that fee would come to Crime Stoppers. But now they don't do that anymore. A legal issue. So, but we'll take anybody's money.
How's the best way for somebody to donate if they're listening?
Just get a hold of me, and we'll set up a time where we'll meet, and you can give me a check. I'm not opposed to taking cash. No credit cards, though. Just cash or a check. You just give me a call or talk to any board member. They're all willing to take money.
You've been a part of it so long, you must find it gratifying and rewarding, or you wouldn't stay on, right?
Oh, yes. And it doesn't take a lot of time. We meet once a month for usually about an hour. And then with the events that we have, it doesn't take much time at all. If you're retired and you got nothing to do, feel free to join. We have a couple of school people that have recently joined us. They're, if you want to...
Yeah, just recently at our last meeting. Christy Birch Zimmerman and Ryan Lemke from the schools have become board members. And we're trying to reach out. I did get a hold of Health and Human Services. I haven't gotten a response back, but the people we work with, if they can be part of our group, it's going to keep us abreast of the needs that are out there to see if there's any way we can help. So, that's also, we're always looking for new members, but it's nice to do things with the people we've worked with in the past.
It's good to have that connection with the school, not only Officer Wilson,
right,
but
right.
Absolutely.
And at one time, we also had a member of WRCO Radio, Aaron Joyce.
Oh, that's right.
Was once a member, and he would take care of publicity for us. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah.
We still have those announcements when available.
Yep.
So absolutely. Yep. And what about McGruff and Scruff? Korea, are they still kicking?
They're still kicking. McGruff, of course, is the bigger than life size crime dog, and he is often present when we do our community things like the Easter egg hunt or the National Night Out. We're involved in those kinds of things too. And then we have Scruff, who's the little brother.
Yeah, he's a brother and he's a puppet.
Yeah, he's a puppet. And then there's an even smaller one who doesn't have a name, but we've got 3 different sizes of McGruff.
You need to have a contest to name the small crime fighter dog. Yeah.
He's also been present when we're always available on Halloween, the night of the trick-or-treating, to talk about Halloween safety. And, he's usually there to help out. So the kids love him. And
do you do school visits yet? Or
he does,
those kind of things? Yeah.
Yep, he does. And thankfully, Officer Wilson has kind of headed that thing up. He'll say, I need the costume,
I know that's long been a part of it, and again, I think of Phyllis with McGruff because she did a lot of tours with McGruff and Scruff back in the day.
Yep.
So 2026 coming on here. Some goals, maybe some things that you'd like to see, or the schedule of events for Crime Stoppers this year, Corrie.
Well, obviously we have a big project coming up with another murder mystery. I have to say, I was gone. I was out of the country when they had it, so I was really disappointed that I couldn't be part of it. But when I got the story that Jennifer wrote, it was like she had to have put in hours and hours of work. And it was, I mean, we couldn't do it without that. So that's a big one. And of course, we're still participating, like I said, in Easter egg hunt. We do that in conjunction with the mission. We're at the Halloween. We're at National Night Out. Yeah, we're also present at the fair. We used to have something that Toddler Tech, like in March. We were there every year for that, but I think it's discontinued. So anytime we can get out and promote Crime Stoppers, and when we do, we always have available for families fingerprint kits. We sometimes can get an officer to come and do the fingerprints right there, which I think is great, but we often have to send the kits home with the parents, and they're made up by Crime Stoppers, very easy to use, but we always say, take the fingerprints, put them in an envelope along with your child's fingernail clippings, because then we're going to have fingerprint and DNA in case we hope it never needs to be used. But if it they've got that information.
Oh, that's an important reminder. So you do that pretty much every
time we go out and about.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's always people that, oh, I didn't know you did that. So we really, that I think is very important. One of our things we do.
When we talk about history, any idea of how many crimes that's been solved in the 40 years?
I don't have any idea. Yeah. I think the biggest reward, and correct me if I'm mistaken, Gretchen, was years back when there was some vandalism at the high school with the pigeons.
Oh, yeah.
And that got solved by a crime stopper.
And that one was $1,000.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So, yeah.
It was the pheasants.
The pheasants. That's what they were, pheasants from the high school. So, it works, I guess, or we wouldn't keep coming back.
Most definitely. And I think there was a burglary last year, too, that was solved.
Yep.
We've had several $500 ones. Most range between $200 to $400. Normally, we don't go below $200. So, but we vote on that when the issue comes up, and somebody will make a suggestion, and a lot of times we might go a little bit higher than what they've suggested. We ask the officers involved what they think it is worth. I remember one time that there was a major theft, and the officers thought that it was worth at least $500. So we went along with his suggestion, and we went from there. So we're more than willing to give the money out as long as it helps solve a crime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a funny way, of course, if you want to stay anonymous, how are you going to get your money? And so I guess, through the officers who have come and talked about it, it might be leave it in the bench at the park. At the North Park, there's a bench so-and-so place. Leave it there in an envelope and I'll pick it up. It's very clandestine at times, so it's kind of, but that's the way we make sure that no one knows who is reporting.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tricks of the trade. Through 40 years, you learn a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, we look
keep
forward
learning.
we look forward to promoting all your events coming up here. Won't be long. Nice warm thoughts of Easter and the Easter egg hunt coming up, and the murder mystery. So, Kathy, is your daughter continually writing that? Is it kind of a work in progress, or is it pretty well all finished?
She started thinking of the ideas and jotting things down in her memory before the other one was complete. So it's an ongoing process for her.
It's going on. Okay, sounds good. Well, we'll keep promoting that as well. And you think sometime mid to late August when you'll be doing that?
The tentative dates will be the 23rd, the 22nd and 23rd. It's a Saturday and Sunday, and people don't have to be there for the entire time. They can choose as few hours or as many as they want.
And they just put in who they think did it, and then they don't have to be present to win at the end.
They do not have to be present to win.
Yeah, well, we'll look forward to that. Anything else anybody would like to add here this morning?
I guess I'd like to name the current board.
Sure,
so
certainly.
That if you see one of us, you can say, hey, I wanted to call and, whatever. So currently our board is Elaine Hendricks, Ed Fink, Gretchen Jelinek, myself, Carrie Gander, Kathy Amby, Lorna Maxwell, Louise Huffman, Michael Starks, Trinda Wells, Jared Wilson, Christy Birch Zimmerman, Ryan Lemke, and then Jennifer Hanby.
Good group.
And we're always willing to take new members.
Yes.
There are no real qualifications. Anybody can join.
And when I tell this to people, I say, I know it's hard to volunteer. People are busy, especially if you have kids, and but you can work as little as an hour a month as part of our group. So it's not a huge time investment, and it really does pay off dividends.
Indeed. Very rewarding. Well, thanks for what you do.
Thanks.
You bet. We appreciate you coming in today. Carrie Gander joining us along with Gretchen Jelinek and Kathy Hamby. Earlier, Officer Jared Wilson from the Richland Center Police Department on today's morning show.